Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom, and I wish you all a wonderful day today. A very special day of 25th of December when the sun is turning in the Northern Hemisphere forward again and the days become longer. So it is literally today the rebirth of the light. And for Pearls of Wisdom today, we have something very special for you. And we all wish you um, a lot of fun when you watch this little video now. And you see also Suchada and Navasit, they are very much looking forward to see that little video. It's very nice. And then we'll talk about that. And I'm gonna play it.
Wow.
It's beautiful now, and unfortunately, I don't know
Yeah.
where the movie come from. I got it in my Telegram channel, but I have no reference, and I just want to congratulate that person or those people who made it. This is absolutely wonderful. So we see here the topic very clearly about divide and conquer. You know, when people are divided, split apart, the whole slavery of our whole society, which is very, very nicely depicted in this video. Then we can go from here, and you have asked a couple questions, and I just want to answer them. And we look at that, how easy it would be actually to free the world, but the first step is to free ourselves. Then we can change the world. We can only change the world if we change ourselves first.
Mm. From the clip, I can see like it's divided, like the dark is like the darkness and the light one.
Poor
But
and the rich.
yeah, yeah. And it seems there are two worlds and we all like in the track that was
Yes, yeah, that is
for
very
us.
interesting. Hmm.
That's what says for us. Even the light side, the light part, also
Yeah,
we on track that's been setting for us. Does this all related to like the duality or like polarity?
Well, first of all, I mean, our whole world as it function in the moment is mainly the main thing that it function on is as a monetary system that is absolutely fake, that is no real value, and that is about that. And I was talking, I think it was yesterday, in the other video about zeitgeist. And I have started actually to watch again Zeitgeist Addendum. That is the second video. That is still free on YouTube. The other one you have to watch Zeitgeist on Netflix or somewhere. And I don't have that, so I just jumped into the other video on YouTube, and they explain in the first 20 minutes the monetary system, how it works, which is very interesting because this also we can relate to that video. And here we have that literally money is created out of nothing as a debt, and how we will never ever will be free of slavery as long as that money system exists. So this is quite interesting, and we can see here in the video, in a way we can say the money system is like that track. So as long as we are on that track, we have no freedom. We cannot go anywhere. When we want to do something, we are pulled back, and that's the same with the money. When we want to do something, maybe we cannot because we don't have enough money, and then we have to pay back debts, and can we afford this, can we afford that? So it's always, and we always have lived since thousands of years in a slave system. Now you ask polarity, duality. Now see, polarity we talked about that exists as such, because otherwise we cannot exist. Remember, existere is stepping out. And we have stepped out of unity into existence to experience life. So duality is, in a way, we can say the polarity of polarity. Now, the polarity itself is just yin and yang, is breathing in, breathing out, is day and night, everything that it needs, that we can see things, that it can exist, right? Now, duality is the judgment. We can say when we have polarity on top, we have yin and yang, which has absolutely no value. One is better or the other is worse. But now duality on top of the two column, we have good and bad, worthy and not worthy, and so on. So what has happened in the last couple thousand years, actually, that the whole world has functioned on duality. And this value system is like, who is judging? You know, again, there are certain beings, I don't want to say people really, that have amassed themselves to be in charge, in a way, of God, to judge your good and your bad. And you are only good and in their system as long as you agree to do what they want you to do. And if you don't do it, you are thrown away. And you know, that's like what happened now. You can see it happened, for example, in Canada with the truckers, that they could not access their bank account anymore and stuff like that. In this protest, you know, and this is what they do. And this is about duality. Duality is a certain kind of people or beings who amass themselves to take the power to be godlike and to judge and do. It's like Mr. Klaus, you know, the guy from WEF, and others who think they can take on God power. In one way, it's right. We are, we can say, an extension of God, of the divine. But this works only out perfectly if we are always connected with the divine. It is like, you know, when we have an electricity line, I only have the power if I'm connected to the grid, like so. I have the power and I have my divine insights when I'm connected with the divine within me. But nobody in the outside can replace that.
Mm.
Now you see, polarity does not have any judgment system. The sun doesn't care who is walking in the sunlight. And the night doesn't care who is working or walking in the night. It just is. So we can say polarity just is law of nature. There are seasons, there are day and night, they're breathing in, breathing out, and there is absolutely no judgment. That is just natural. But we can also say natural, natural, then we have norm and normal. Normal is norm. The norm is connected with duality. So this is the big difference. We have duality and polarity. It's kind of the polarity of the two things. And we have normal as duality, and we have natural as polarity. And once we start to reconnect ourselves and hook up to natural and polarity, it is like we shift our energy field and we move slowly out of the duality. And this is what is happening in a way now. When people are waking up, they are more and more and more connected to polarity instead of duality.
Since the beginning that you mentioned about the monetary system, I felt like we were having like the fake freedom.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, with you know the belief of money is everything.
Well,
Yeah. And then when you mentioned about the polarity and duality, I feel like if we align ourselves to more polarity, it will be like the real freedom.
Yes, exactly. And I just actually, I'm looking, I just did make from the movie yesterday, the Zeitgeist 2, I made a screenshot. And I just want to show you this quickly because this is exactly what it is all about. I'm just sending it here quickly because I'm using the other computer. I'm using two computers at the moment. So let me show you this because I really like that. Because this is something that is about Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, and I think everybody knows who Goethe is. So let me see that I can share that quickly with the... Okay, let me see. I'll try to share the screen. Because last time, okay, do you see that? Oh no, that's still the movie. Okay, I have to close the movie first. Let me see if it works. Can you see that here now?
Yes.
Yeah.
None are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe they are free. Now, see, this is one of the most important insights for the moment. When we believe we are free, we are hopelessly enslaved because the belief we are free will hinder us to look for the truth. And that's what actually happened. You know, at one point they had wars, physical wars, World War I, we had other wars in between, World War II, which actually never really ended. We're still in that war situation. And then we had here a war and there a war, whatever. And finally, the cabal has realized that this is not the way to enslave people. And they started to do the opposite, to make people believe they are free. The freedom, you know, the 50s, the 60s, when that started all with this is how they did deceive people, that they came so far, because still a lot, if you ask around, people think they're free. Oh, I have a choice, I'm free. But what kind of choice do you really have? You can choose to drink water or tea or coffee, but you're not really free. And see, that's the biggest illusion. And here we are again in duality. Because once you understand what you are as a human being here, you're never completely free, because once you have a physical body, that body has needs. You need to feed the body, you need to breathe. You are not free as if you would be a spirit. So the moment you go into polarity, you choose a certain kind of, it's not enslavement, it's certain rules. Let's put it that way. You choose certain rules because only within certain rules you can experience life. But in duality, freedom is something else. Freedom has something to do with to be forced to do something for somebody else. When you're in polarity, you have chosen this yourself for your personal experience. When you're in duality, other people have chosen for you the rules and the regulation to keep you in line.
So it means that there is no free will in the duality.
No. What is, again, the free will in the frame of you choose if you want noodles or rice, or if you want to work on this job or that job. But to really do what you want, what your divine right would be to live your talents, your desire, to be who you are, and not to follow the norm, like be inside of the norm that somebody else has set for you. When you are in polarity, you have chosen certain limitations because you make an experience, right? If you are under the duality, somebody else has chosen a way of life and you're pushed inside it. You have a government telling you what to do, you have a religion authority telling you what you have to do, and so on and so on. So to move beyond is to move into polarity and to refuse to play within duality. That's what the guy did in the movie.
How can we free ourselves from duality?
Yeah, the first thing is to know. Most people don't know. Once you know, then you can start to see through the illusion of duality. Like again in Zeitgeist Addendum, when they show exactly how money is made, there was one guy who was sued to pay money, and he knew the whole story, so he fought the court, and he was right, because he had no obligation to pay. We don't have any obligation to pay taxes as part of duality, but we all pay because we are afraid of the consequences if we don't pay. So the thing is, we have to gather together. We have to, more and more people. That's why we need to talk about it, to spread that information, that more and more people can gather and work together to kick this duality system out. That's why in the moment, the awakening of humanity is so important, because if most people still are slaves within duality, the consciousness cannot shift completely. So that's why it is crucial to work on helping people to see the truth on all kind of levels. And again, you see that like when we have it a candle, when we have a dark room, we only light one candle. There is already light. And it does not need that everybody has a candle, but say every 10th or every 20th person has a candle, we have already a lot of light. So it will never be that everybody will wake up, but the light is always stronger because darkness is just the absence of light.
Mm.
Mm.
So again, this is very important for today, the 25th of December, and it's actually a pagan holiday. It doesn't matter. It is connected with polarity, with the cycle of our earth, with the cycle of the sun, which has nothing to do with good and bad. And it has been hijacked and made duality stories for human beings. So when we just celebrate the return of light, just see that now the light is becoming stronger. And of course, we have polarity because in the southern hemisphere, it's the opposite. It's the longest day and the night becomes shorter. There is always two sides. But in the southern hemisphere, they also celebrate now what the Christmas, the light of the Christ is actually a title. It's not the name, the Christ, the light. And this is wrong. They should not celebrate that. They should celebrate the opposite, because it's in polarity, in real polarity. Their celebration today is the longest day, and the days start to become shorter. And in the northern hemisphere, it's the opposite.
So then how do we start to change ourselves to be more polarity?
Observe nature. Become more natural. Observe nature outside of you, and observe also your inner nature. But this is for many people very difficult because the brainwash how to behave is so strong. It's like such a box that you don't see outside anymore. So this is why it's so difficult. That's one reason why I said not everybody will wake up.
And how do we change our world? I mean, okay, start from ourselves, and
Exactly.
then we erase or what?
The moment you change yourself, you become a light. The moment that you're still embedded enslaved and be a slave and have not your own opinion, just follow others, ask others, follow others, you are not like a light. But the moment you start to take back your power, you become like a lighthouse. And this is part and then the people around you start to see, oh, she changed. And maybe first off, crazy, let's get away from her or him. And then at one point they suddenly, but you know what, here they look really happy, they look good. I kind of go and want to know what they're doing. And so you started to attract, the light start to attract people, and you can say something here, something there, and more people start to ask questions. And this is how you change yourself first, and then your environment start to change because you change.
But I can see it's quite difficult, because we were born with judging.
Yes.
They were taught, like all environment judge.
Yes, absolutely.
It's kind of automatic.
Yeah.
In our thought to judge. Like the first instinct was judging.
No, that's not the first instinct. That's your mind. The first thought, the first instinct would not be like that. But when you are in this slave system, you don't hear your instinct anymore. You hear your mind.
The mind is louder.
Yes, exactly. The mind is louder, the brainwash is louder.
And
How can we
how can
quiet?
we, yeah, how can we connect to the instinct before the thought?
Well, one thing you all know is meditation. Step out of the wheels. You know, you saw in the movie those wheels turning, all the wheels, and this is like all the wheels are turning all the time. So step out of that. Find a quiet, peaceful place. Like what I do now in the morning, I walk barefoot in the garden every morning and go greet my flowers and everything. Find a little ritual where you can connect to nature and then feel into you. How do you feel? I greet the sun, I greet the earth, I greet the elements. And I ask again, you know, it's what I say always, spirit divine within, guide me, protect me, tell me what I need to know. And then it comes to that point of knowingness that you start to know without anybody has told you. And I know things I shouldn't know because I have neither learned it nor anybody has told me. I just know because it comes from my higher self.
So from the intuition within, I feel like this knowledge of you or of me or of Navasit would be the same thing.
In the highest way, yes, the highest aspect of divine understanding, that we would probably share the same insights.
Because it's the natural, it's like the truth of the universe. Nothing can change.
Yes, exactly. And then we find all the same answers because we are on the same consciousness level, we are on the same level connected with the divine, and we receive from, we can say that higher self. I just need words, not that higher self information, and our higher selves are also connected again, you know. It's like when you have trees, it's very easy when you're in a forest, you know, the roots on the ground, they are all connected together. The information goes through the whole forest. And again, when you look up, the branches and the crown, they're also connected together. And this is more or less like ourselves, you know, they are connected on all levels. And information is going forth and back. And this is how, for example, telepathy works.
So I have come up like with one understanding. It seems like we are living in the kind of poison or toxic environment for the soul to be purified with like all the information, all the norm, all the everything. Do we need to isolate like from the world to how could that?
Well, first of all, the soul is not polluted. Your soul cannot be polluted. It's your ego, your human ego personality that is polluted. So you have to find in a way, again, the connection to the soul. And yes, I think there is a time we have to withdraw. This is why a lot of people, they go to a temple for a certain time, or they move away maybe to live in a different place. Like I just got an information from somebody that he has moved to out of in the countryside a year ago. And he said, now since I'm living there, I could never go back and live in the city. So you have to make a step out to be closer to nature, closer to your personal nature and closer to nature at all. But even nature is very polluted today. So it's kind of difficult, I agree, but it's possible. So there is a time you might have to isolate yourself. You have to just have time for yourself to look inside of yourself, to connect nature outside of you. But this is not forever. And this is not meant that you now have to be alone all the rest of your life. Absolutely not. The moment you have certain insights, you go back to the others, and the others will see, and you can share. And then maybe comes a point again when you feel, oh, now I need quiet time again, and then go again. I used to go every year in different retreats, like 2-3 times a year, and that helped me. That was kind of the soul food I needed to move forward.
Mhm. Mhm. How can we differentiate duality from polarity, like in everyday life?
Oh, you feel it immediately. When you have already like a not so good feeling about it, or very strong emotions, when you are settled in a kind of a peace, then you're at peace with polarity. You're at peace with day and night. You're at peace with different seasons. You don't fight it. You accept, for example, that now at certain places it's cold and has snow, and you just get out your jackets and that's it. That's not nature, and you accept it. But when you have to participate, for example, also in things that you don't feel good, events, especially this time of year, there are many events. And did you know that this time of year there are most suicides in all over the world? Why the hell? Why the hell, when this should be a celebration of joy, are so many suicides? Because it's not such a joy. It is, for many people, it is obligation. When it comes obligation, or then we have these horrible stories about the gifts, in this time of year. Oh, she gave me this last year, so and this costs about that much, so I have to buy something that is about that much. All that stuff. That is duality.
Obligation. Yeah,
Yes.
Clear. This is clear.
Obligation that does not feel natural.
Okay.
And because we were taught, who give you something, you have to give it back.
Yes, exactly. Like
But
all
doesn't
this.
it to be like truth?
No.
If you receive something, you need to give back.
Yeah, but you're really happy. Isn't it like this, that when you receive something from somebody, that you immediately said, oh, that's very nice. Okay, children is a different story. But as an adult, then okay, they give me this, I need to do this back, or oh my God, now I'm obligated to blah, 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 Even when you get a promotion in your job or whatever, it is in the moment, it looks good in the moment, but then, oh my God, but now I have to. And then blah, 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 blah,
It's not natural. Okay, I see.
You know what I'm saying? So it's difficult. And at one point, when you are really connected to nature, then you will be able to create your life in a different way. Then you take the power back, and you might not serve big company to make big money to use you as a slave, because you are never paid what you're worth. Never. You're never paid what you're worthy. Because others always make more on your back. You carry, they garnish. And when we are moving now forward, and enlightenment is coming more and more and more to the world, we will have a fair system that people are not riding on other people's back. But instead of competition, we have support each other. Instead of I sit on somebody, I support, I help the other, and helping myself at the same time. So everything what is connected with competition is duality too.
Okay. To be the best one is a duality.
Yeah.
I see. But it seems like with the natural, we don't have to do like because we always taught that we always taught that we have to do the best always.
Yeah, that's brainwash.
Uh-huh.
What is the best then? What is it the best? This is something that also someone else has defined for you. What is the best?
Mm. Okay.
Mm.
So yes, I absolutely agree. It's difficult. It's very difficult, and we need some time of solitude in between to reconnect with that living um, living part within us that is connected with polarity. So, and step out of duality for a moment to be free. And we cannot do that when we go to work every day or when we are connected in a family that has 100,000 expectations of us. And we are always feeling to have the duty to do this and this and this and this. We cannot be free. That's why, yes, absolutely, you need to step back once in a while and be alone, or maybe in a group of like-minded people who are searching, like in a meditation retreat where there are many people that you can share experience. That's fine too.
Uh-huh. So I just come up one question. If I'm not the active person, so this is my authentic, right?
If you, I cannot hear you very well anymore now. It's a little muffled.
Yeah. If I am not the active person,
Yes.
yeah. So is my authentic, is my natural, right?
Of course. Now look, you know, from astrology, we have very different ways of being. And for example, also just talking about solitude, you can see in an horoscope very clearly if it's time to withdraw or time to expand, you know. And then there are many different type of people, and that is nature. See, that is nature. We have many different flowers, we have many different kind of trees. We have some trees that have needles, all the pine trees that are not falling down in winter and are still green in the winter. We have a lot of trees who have leaves, and they all leaves fall down in winter, and you see only the trunks and the branches. And that's the same for human being. The first thing is actually, and that is the meaning of true meditation, to go inside, is to feel what is your personal identity,
And
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 not
then
the one that other put over you.
yes, and then I just develop my identity, right?
Yeah,
But I don't have to do to do more active to suit someone.
no, no. You have to find, you know, you have to find your way. And I honestly believe, especially with sky astrology, what I see from so many years of practice, when you work with the real star constellation, there is no 50-50 chance. Oh, it could be this, it could be that. No, it's not. It's very clear. It's your personal curriculum. Knowing this is so much power. And it helps you. It helped me understand what my life is about. And since I did that, I could step slowly more and more and more and more out of that norm. But I had to pay my price. I'm still in a society of normed beings, and I'm outside of the norm, and that has a price I pay.
Okay.
And that's why we are here now. Now in this shift of the ages, now in this shift, everybody who is willing to look at who you really are beside and beyond all that brainwash is ready to step into being yourself. And then we don't have to pay the price anymore of being you, because everybody who is on our timeline will be authentic.
Mm. Mm.
Mm, mm.
I think that is a very beautiful discussion and message for this 25th of December. And I hope that many people can understand now even a little bit better what this is all about and let go of all these commercial celebrations, religious celebration, whatever it is, but go really to the point of the return of the light. You see my little baby here.
So cute.
She is so cute, yes. The other one, I don't know where she went. Oh, here she is. Here she's coming already.
Wow.
Isn't she beautiful?
Yes.
Yeah, she is. She also want to say hi. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for your question. And I hope that everybody enjoyed it. If you like our video, please give us a thumbs up and like it. And we all send you the very best wishes for the end of this year and the beginning of the new one. We won't have discussion next week. We will meet again in the new year. So for everybody, happy return of the light and all the best wishes for the new year. Bye-bye. Take care.
Happy New Year.